This video is to help with problem 1-60 in the CP/M Algebra 2. When we're doing this problem, please note that you should refer to the math notes box that was just before these problem sets to know your ratios, your trigonometric ratios. So in problem A, 1-60A, we look at this 15 degrees. We see that we have the hypotenuse and we also have the side opposite the 15 degrees. And so therefore the trig ratio that we have is the sine function, because the sine function, it says sine of the 15 degrees is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. But we want to solve for x, and to solve for x we need to get rid of this denominator 20, so we're going to multiply both sides by 20. The 20s cancel and you end up with 20 times sine of 15 degrees equals x. Just use your calculator and plug this into your calculator, 20 times sine of 15 degrees. But don't forget to have your calculator in degree mode so that you're getting the right trigonometric answer for that sine of 15 degrees. The next problem, problem B, we look at this carefully and we have 15 degrees again, but this time instead of the hypotenuse and opposite, we do have the opposite, 5, and we have the adjacent to 15 degrees, which is x. So this time our trigonometric ratio is going to be the tangent, and it's saying the tangent of the 15 degrees is equal to the opposite over the adjacent. And again, we're trying to solve for x. We don't want that fraction, so we're going to multiply both sides by x to eliminate fractions. We've got x times tangent of 15, but we're trying to solve for x, so we need to get rid of tangent of 15 degrees. So we divide both sides of the equation by tangent of 15 degrees. That cancels, and we've got that x equals 5 divided by tangent of 15 degrees. And once again, you just use your calculator in the degree mode, and you will type 5 divided by tangent of 15 degrees. Enter. For part C, we look at the angle. Well, the angle is the unknown, and that little symbol there, for those of you who didn't know, that's called theta, a Greek letter, and it's kind of like saying x for an angle. It means I don't know this angle, but I do know that the hypotenuse is 11, and the side adjacent to the theta is 10. So the trigonometric ratio that we're going to use there is cosine, because we're told that cosine is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Now here's our unknown, and it's trapped right now because it says cosine of theta, so we need to undo this function of cosine, and the way we undo it is with the inverse of cosine, and the inverse of cosine undoes. It's not dividing, it's two functions that one undoes the other. And so what will happen is here these the inverse of the function and the function itself kind of cancel each other out, and what you're left with is theta, and it equals the inverse cosine, and then parentheses 10 divided by 11. And you can plug this into your calculator, but do it very carefully. There's a cosine with a little -1. That's read as the inverse of cosine. You have to make sure you use the parentheses, 10 divided by 11, and end the parentheses, and then hit enter. And that's the instructions on how to do 1-60 parts A, B, and C.